Black Swan event. Now that's what they're calling it. I mean, I've heard of false flag events. Black Swan, that's why I had to decide to do a history check. There was a couple of books written a long time ago about this particular event. So it's an unpredictable event that is beyond what is normally expected of a situation and has potentially severe consequences. So it's like you're out on a lovely, beautiful, hot day and you're looking over the water and you're seeing the serenity of beautiful swans that are gracefully moving across the waters while you have your picnic, and everything is just so beautiful and so calming. And then out of the blue, a black swan appears. So that's a Black Swan event. But normally, and this is true just about every time there's been a Black Swan event, it's always happened within the economic sector. I don't remember it happening in the public sector unless you can call 911 either a false flag or a Black Swan event, because nobody expected it. It came out of the blue. Right, this is a delicate situation, isn't it? The Baltimore Bridge, how it came down. Now to suggest that the navigation system blacked out, they lost all controls, navigational controls, seems a bit far-fetched, to be honest with you. Turns out they sent out a mayday, that's been said. But it's also been voiced by some well-known people that are definitely in the know about navigational terminology and how boats in a harbour are normally brought through delicate and narrow gaps. We know that this is like virtually, and I say virtually, impossible for it to have collided with a main stanchion. Now what is also coming out is about what the workers are saying, because there were workers on the bridge, wasn't there, at the time, and they've reported certain things regarding the bridge. Now, is this people? Is this a cover-up? We don't know. Maybe it will come out that it's a cover-up. I don't know. Again, it's becoming more and more curious, as they say in Alice in Wonderland. Curious by the day. But I know one thing. Black Swan, or not a Black Swan. With man, you get dark and intriguing at times, but deceptive goings on. But you don't get that in We've Got, do you? Everything is completely white. Everything is open for complete open investigation with God and His Son Jesus Christ. They were an open book of truth, but you do not get that with man. With Satan's system, everything is cloaked in secrecy. Maybe secret handshakes along the way, but everything is so cloak and dagger and under the radar. There is no openness with Satan's hordes on this earth at the moment. And the only thing that I'm attracted to is light. Beautiful white light. The white light of truth. Whoever happens to be the one advocating that white light, that is where I'm likely to be magnetically attracted to. And it doesn't seem to be with Satan's system. All I get every day from them is deception in the news, continued warfare, and people ethnically cleansed. And it all tied up into a little bow of acceptance from a certain nation to make it seem as if it's an acceptable thing, what they're doing. Now, I have to say that having looked at these Black Swan events just lately, I would have to go back to 2008 before I could say for absolute assuredness that economic collapse of 2008 could well have been an economic Black Swan event. I think that that would probably hold a bit of water at the moment to say that. But then to use a similar event in the public sector is, for me, it's stretching it. It's pulling the true meaning of what this was all about. Unpredictable event that is beyond what is normal. It is an unpredictable event. Certainly 911 was an unpredictable event. There couldn't have been that many people that were forewarned early enough. Hence we had so many deaths. On this occasion we had people working on the bridge, tradesmen. Now we have stories filtering back that some concerns were voiced by these ones that were working on the bridge, these engineers, doing a similar job to me. They're an engineer. They're used to working with their hands in a physical capacity. You know, as a fellow engineer, I understand that they will have certain deadlines to complete when working on such a structure, but it would have to have been done correctly with no corners cut. So we need surely to investigate what it is that they voice their concerns over. If they voice their concerns over something structural, then what happened, is that enough motive to hit the stanchion to bring the bridge down to stop any investigation? Now let me go back to 911. Now you cannot deny this fact on 911. The wreckage, once the buildings had come down, nobody was allowed to examine the wreckage. No independent sources. All the wreckage was taken away as quickly as possible. Some say it was taken out of America to another country, but it was not allowed to be investigated. And that, for me, was the biggest false flag excuse of what happened. And you have now to look at similar things. If that wreckage can't be examined on the Baltimore Bridge, if all the metal that's come down is ushered away without an independent source to investigate it, then you are looking at another false flag Black Swan event. And they will be the facts in which I will evaluate this particular circumstance. That's how I evaluated what happened at 911, how they just stopped any independent reporters coming in. Any independent engineering companies were not allowed to examine that building's wreckage. It was all taken away as quickly as possible. So look out for a similar thing happening, people. Now the wreckage has come down, it'll have to be put onto some kind of barge from where it is, and then it'll be taken away. You'll have to look to where it's been taken, and then after that happens, people, I should imagine the conspiracies will really start to come out. Well, that's my take on it anyway. There are some other people that have voiced their opinion about this Black Swan event, Flynn being one. I think Alex Jones probably has something to say about it. Because people would just live in such a deceptive world. You know, where light and truth is, that's not where they want to be. And they don't want anybody to find light and truth in these final last days. All they want to do is cloud the waters, muddy the waters every time, so that you are almost forever trying to get yourself out of quicksand and never get yourself onto solid ground. It's not what they want. They want you to be going round in circles, throwing out different scenarios of, was it done for this reason, was it done for that reason? But just look at the facts. And the facts were, they're saying they sent out a mayday and the navigational controls were lost. They're saying that they followed every procedure going, but if the steering went as well, let's investigate that. Let's see if that is the case. But then you once you've looked at that, you would have to look at the complaints that were brought to the fore by certain workers and engineers on the bridge, and that's where you start your investigation. Let's just hope that any of those engineers that were on the bridge who died weren't vital to the investigation. If that's the case, it's looking more and more suspicious. I'll see you all. Bye bye.